So should I pretend I didn't see this show live? Because I was there is getting a bit redundant now. What's going on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal Spaz Phoenix, the YWC Reality Check, here with your November 23rd NXT review. And as I said, I was here. I was at this show. Kind of. You guys probably know by now when they do the takeovers, you know, outside of Full Sail, they do a little bit of pre-tape before the show actually starts. So the two matches, and there's only two matches to talk about, so it's going to give me a nice chance to sort of give my thoughts about NXT TakeOver a little bit, happened at the Air Canada Centre before the show actually started. Now, I came in mid-first match, so I didn't see it live, so it was cool to kind of see it again. I didn't, you know, it didn't get dropped on a show later on down the line, but it was kind of cool because a couple people that I was kind of perplexed weren't on the TakeOver show, i.e. Sanity, Ember Moon, Liv Morgan, etc., were not part of the TakeOver show, not part of the TakeOver card, which was really surprising, but I did still get to see them in the Air Canada Centre. Also, a regular episode of NXT being filmed in a large arena like the Air Canada Centre is big enough on its own, but it's very off-putting, it's very jarring to a certain degree to see it with the big Raw, the Raw wraparound. What the hell do you call it? It used to be called the Jumbotron, it used to be called the Titantron, now it's just the LED board, because they had the LED board, as you could clearly see from TakeOver and from Survivor Series, set up for Raw. And that's all it was. You know, you got the big wraparound bit, that's where the Tron used to be, and then you get the long sort of secondary LED board along the bottom. Now, they only lit up the center of the bottom LED board so that it looked like an NXT entrance, but it's one of those roll your eyes a little bit, hey WWE, we're not idiots. You're not thinking about TakeOver or Survivor Series. You're thinking about you want your stage set up for Raw, which is really, really bizarre, because out of the three, I guarantee you nobody was looking forward to Raw over the other two shows. Now, Survivor Series ending the way it did, level 10 shit show, notwithstanding, the TakeOver show was a lot of fun. And yeah, NXT fans are ridiculous Mark fans, and they'll chant everything under the sun, and you know, the uptight old school wrestling fans, they don't like it because there's people there doing kicks and flips and whatever. I thought it was great. Friggin' Ty Dillinger owned the night, putting that one out there. But we start off with Rich Swann versus Kona Reeves. Now, when I say Kona Reeves reminds me of The Rock, I mean he reminds me of Rocky Maivia on his debut. And that's not a good thing, is it? Big Hawaiian guy, he's got the gimmick shirt, the gimmick lay, you know, let's be as cliche as we possibly can. Versus Rich Swann. Rich Swann's entertaining. I don't know why they put the stupid fucking wings on his ring gear. It looks retarded. It looks more retarded in person. I will confirm that. Calling about to happen a toss by Reeves and a Samoan drop. They're showing that the guy's big, so he can throw people around. Pretty much, it's the Braun Strowman, Nia Jax booking. But Swann needs a turnbuckle chest first, twice, and then a mudhole stomp. A boot by Swann, a hangman, a clothesline, and enziguri. He's just mounting a comeback when the lights go out. It's not a jump scare, it's not the Wyatts, it's the debut, in Air Canada Centre anyway, of Sanity. 4-on-2 beatdown on Swann and Reeves. Eric Young cuts a kind of rambling promo saying, you know, talking about how the world is hanging by a thread and it's all very bleak and our generation's gonna fix everything. We're not here to ask permission, we're here to take over. And it's cliche as hell, but it does kind of make me chuckle. During the commercial break, No Way Jose, who you guys know I absolutely love, comes out to check on Rich Swann, because I guess they're still tag team partners, even though Rich Swann's going to be on 205 Live. No Way Jose is definitely not a cruiserweight, and No Way Jose doesn't really need to be on my television, but No Way Jose calls out Eric Young, and the match, or fight, or scuffle, or intercation, no matter what you want to call it, turns predictably into another 4-on-1 beatdown, Eric Young and Sanity standing tall. Now, I will say, Nikki Cross in these two segments was great. Typically, when you get a faction like this that has their one token female, yeah, they'll get involved, you know, little low blow, little slap in the face after the guy's already been beaten down to oblivion. Nikki Cross hit a missile drop kick to the back of, it was either No Way Jose or Rich Swann, I'm not sure which, But it was good, and she was in there with the physicality. She's in there with them all going crazy afterwards, eating the ring ropes and all that shit. It's all good. Sanity is a lot of fun. Eric Young playing the crazy man. Right, I mean, we know we make fun of TNA to this day. You know, any day could be its last day. Eric Young, TNA, NXT, eventually WWE, is a great crazy man, and anybody else that gets to hitch their trailer to his tractor, I guess, really shitty metaphor there, sorry for that, is going to get taken along for the ride. Alexander Wolf and Sawyer Fulton were two guys that I could not be paid to give a fuck about in NXT. I'm not going to lie. Under the Sanity gimmick as, you know, the henchman, as the Harper and Rowan to Eric Young's Bray Wyatt, it works. Adding in the female element of Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross I had seen once or twice. She was all right in the ring. Give her the sort of like old school Daphne type crazy girl gimmick, and it all comes together quite nicely. Now, if we introduce, as I've said a million times, once these guys in the future make it to the main roster, if we ever give the Wyatt family a actual physical Sister Abigail, you've got a hell of a 4-on-4 match there, no matter whether you're Wyatt, Orton, Harper, Rowan, or Strowman, not Roman Reigns, that would be shit too, and whoever that Sister Abigail would be. These guys would be great, and I like it. And we're getting it in small doses. We're not being overwhelmed with it. They come in, they make their impact felt every here and there. Like this, they didn't even have a match. They teased a match. They had the beginning of a non-sanctioned match between No Way Jose and Eric Young. I really would have loved that to turn into an actual match so No Way Jose could lose, because that would make me smile. But they're doing it all good. Kona Reeves, I couldn't give a shit. Rich Swann, entertaining as hell. Wish him the best of luck on 205 Live. I think he's getting a title shot against Brian Kendrick, but then that was decided on Raw, and Raw's a piece of shit that doesn't keep me awake. So there we go. We then get a series of video package / interviews, which I'm not going to go through, but I'm going to give you my thoughts on the respective matches. Joe versus Nakamura. Hard-hitting as you can possibly imagine. Awesome to watch live. Joe, very, very simple entrance, and Nakamura, the dueling violins on the way to the ring. Those of you that follow me on Facebook, you saw my photos and videos. I have a video of Bobby Roode's entrance and Shinsuke Nakamura's entrance from Air Canada Centre. Go check it out. It's great. The crowd reaction, and this is going to be the theme throughout all my sort of thoughts on TakeOver. The crowd reaction to Nakamura's entrance, the crowd reaction to the glorious Bobby Roode, and obviously Dillinger with the 10-10-10 that we see is going to keep going. It's a lot of fun. And I know, as I said before, there's a lot of people that think it's really cheesy. There's a lot of people that think the NXT crowd is annoying. I don't agree. It's a whole lot of fun. It's a whole lot of getting away from the internet, like, well, they shouldn't have booked it this way, and this guy didn't come out looking strong. No, you got a guy that's got a fun gimmick. You're in the audience having fun with the gimmick. What else do you want? Joe versus Nakamura, surprised as hell by the ending, because everybody's been talking about Joe and when he's going to come up to the main roster. Well, he's obviously not coming up to the main roster if he's going to be the champion, and he's also being given the distinction of the first ever 2-time NXT champion. I know Kevin Owens went for it a bunch of times, and I think that was in the process was when he destroyed Sami Zayn on the ring apron, but I don't think he ever actually got it. So Joe having that distinction is kind of cool. He's wrecking this, you know, this phenomenon known as Shinsuke Nakamura, and he beat him. Did he have a low blow somewhere in the match? Yeah, but it was fine. The women's match, Asuka you knew was going to win. Mickie James was coming in for a one and done. Mickie James, who was there because Trish Stratus got knocked up and they couldn't get Trish Stratus because they wanted Trish Stratus for Toronto. Secondary choice, Mickie James, a lot more fun. I will say, more fun only in the sense that if you're going to bring somebody back for the women's division to put over the women's division, your two obvious choices are Trish Stratus and Lita. Lita's doing the commentary bit. I don't think she's physically capable of wrestling. I don't know if she wrestles anymore, you know, on the side in the corner somewhere. I don't know. But by the fact that she's taken on a commentary role, I don't think she's doing that. Trish Stratus has her side business with the whole fitness gimmick and all that sort of thing. Would have loved to see her, especially in Toronto. Would have loved to see somebody like Gail Kim, who's from Toronto, but we know that's not happening either. Mickie James, again, going back to that crazy chick thing. I liked Mickie James when she was the crazy chick, when she was playing the stalker of Triple H way back in the day. And she can still go. You know, it's cheesy to say the whole, you know, you've still got it thing, but it was really good. They put on a good match. It loses a little bit by the fact that I knew Asuka was going to win. And I don't say me like I'm full of myself. I think the majority of us knew, or at least strongly predicted, she was going to win. It's like when Thunder Liger came in to face... Oh, who did he face? Tyler Breeze. Similar sort of deal. Cool to see them back. And the champion's going to win, and this is going to set up the champion for whoever their next legitimate challenger is going into the Royal Rumble-related takeover or the WrestleMania-related takeover. Great match. I had a lot of fun with it. Again, Asuka's entrance, really, really fun. A lot of people, the comparison is being made, the people waving the Asuka masks are being compared to the Al Snow fans waving head back in the day, and that's not a comparison that you can really sneeze at. The tag team title match, easily, as far as in-ring work, best match of the night. Gargano and Ciampa, finally, 2 out of 3 falls go in there, defeat the Revival with the Shatter Machine. Well, not with the Shatter Machine, but the Revival tried to do that kick sandwich thing that Gargano and Ciampa do. They missed. They ended up kicking each other. Shatter Machine 2-1 of the Revival, and then they both locked in tandem submissions to get the win. Not only did they win, they won in pretty victorious fashion. A little bit of sarcasm in there, stealing the heel's finishing maneuver, and long overdue for these guys. I say that for 2 reasons. These guys need to be the standard bearers for NXT, and they will. Revival needs to get up to the main roster. Revival need to go up, and I won't take credit for this. I heard it earlier today on... who said it? I'm going to forget who said it, and I'm going to feel like a dick. But... JD from New York. JD from New York was doing his NXT review, and sorry, SmackDown, something like that review. Anyways, but the idea being that Revival should go in and be a surprise competitor for the New Day. The New Day, who are stale as fuck on Raw. Revival, I wouldn't wish going to Raw on them, but them going in there and clobbering the New Day would be hilarious. And quickly moving to SmackDown, because SmackDown is an upgrade and Raw is a downgrade, and all that sort of thing. But great match. Authors of Pain versus TM61 for the finals of the Dusty Classic. Now, you guys know all along the way, yes, Authors of Pain are a wrecking machine. Yes, Paul Ellering behind them is a nice touch. TM61, they're great athletes, they're great wrestlers in the ring, they're good workers, they put their work in, all that sort of thing. I couldn't be paid to give a fuck about them because they haven't given me a reason. Now, one of them, and I won't say that I know which one because I don't, had that amazing flip off of the harness, the crane maneuver, or the crane structure that was holding the cage that Ellering was in. He had the wicked flip off there to start the match. Impressive. Still don't care about them. Authors of Pain, I didn't think they were going to win. I thought these new guys that I didn't care much about were going to get a real push moment, which would have been really, really cool. I guess for them it would have maybe given me a reason to care. But Authors of Pain are in there like 2 fucking tanks, and they won. And it doesn't matter that they were heels, they won. And obviously getting Triple H, William Regal, Goldust all out there to pay homage to the memory of Dusty Rhodes was awesome. Authors of Pain are going to take this and move forward with it. Ellering, somebody like Ellering, somebody with the experience and the managerial chops of Ellering, is going to take that Dusty Rhodes Classic win, all the prestige that goes along with it, and use it to boost his team. Now, when they're cutting promos in the back, and Ellering's promo is in English, and the other 2 are in, like, Syrian or Samoan, or I don't even know, that's a bit of a detachment. I'm not going to lie. But good on them. TM61, I hope they do something to these guys to make me care. I'm not writing them off. I can't come up here and say that everything in NXT is great when there's things that I don't care about, can I? Rude and Dillinger. This was the match if you wanted crowd participation. The glory, like I say, if you know me on Facebook, or if you really want me to throw my videos up here, put it down in the comment section below, and I'll throw them together, put them up here as well. But Rude and Dillinger. Great match. Again, sort of, you didn't really think that Dillinger was going to win, but the 10-10-10 chance, not only for this match, but every time, and I said this on my SmackDown review, anytime anything involving counting, anytime anybody was being counted out, anytime there was a 10 punch on the ropes, 10-10-10 rung out through this show. Through Survivor Series, and I can tell you from experience, from Raw, even on SmackDown last night in Ottawa, the 10 chants are going forward. So it's along the lines of the what chants from Austin, the yes chants from Daniel Bryan, etc., etc., etc. He lost, but I think Dillinger got more out of this, because I'll promise you one thing, the standing ovation that Ty Dillinger, the loser of the match, got after the match put that kid over. and I don't want to say kid like I'm being disrespectful, but between him and Bobby Roode, he's the kid. I'm sorry, I have to say it that way. He still goes on being the Dolph Ziggler of NXT, making everybody else that he gets in the ring with look great on his way to losing the matches. Great match. The 10 chant, a lot of fun. The people doing the glorious bit, lots of fun. Them mocking each other's poses and all that sort of thing. And the whole, like, Battle of Canada idea added an extra little element to it that was a lot of fun. And it started the show. You know, you got two Canadians in downtown Toronto at the Air Canada Centre, and they're the ones that are starting the show. And, you know, a following like Bobby Roode has, a sort of cult-ish, you know, Daniel Bryan-ish following like Ty Dillinger's got, that is the right match to start the pay-per-view. All in all, great show. Great show, and like you say, you got this show as a little bit extra in the beginning, the dark matches, I guess you could say. But it was all good. And the last match is Ember Moon, Aaliyah, and Liv Morgan versus Billie Kay, Peyton Royce, and they finally found a third partner. I thought it was going to be Mandy Rose, because that's who's teamed with them the last couple of times there's been a 6-man tag, or 6-woman tag, I guess. But Daria, I don't remember her last name. I'm just going to say Daria. The one that's made up to look like an MMA chick. The one that's from Tough Enough. And she's really... I truly believe NXT is trying to make their own version of Ronda Rousey out of her. Not comparing the two, but like as an image, as a persona going forward. She's doing the shadow boxing. She's got the Undertaker gloves on there and the whole shtick. And she's a beast. She showed it in this match. I like her. Here's the thing, you got a 6-woman tag, and I care about 4 of them. Ember Moon is clearly their next big star. She's going to get the next title shot. Either there's going to be a rematch between Mickie James and Asuka at the Royal Rumble related takeover, and then they're going to save Ember Moon for WrestleMania, or Ember Moon's going to get her shot in January. Either way, I'm completely okay with it. Either way, Ember Moon holding the title is awesome. Second of all, it gets Asuka up to the main roster, which is also cool, unless they want to do what they're doing with Joe and have a second title run and all that sort of thing. Aaliyah, hometown girl. I don't have a particular reason to gravitate to her at the moment other than she's a hometown girl, and she's really friggin' good. And she's got a decent connection with the audience. Liv Morgan is not the greatest thing in the ring. Liv Morgan is one of those, it's fun. It's really fun, as long as she doesn't grab a microphone. I will admit that she's kind of cringy on the microphone. Daria, I like. Billie Kay and Peyton Royce, I couldn't be paid to give a shit. I really couldn't. But here we go. Kay and Morgan start the match. Head scissor by Morgan and a dropkick. Chops by Royce and Kay on Morgan. Arm breaker by Aaliyah. Arm drag by Aaliyah. Takedown by Daria and a spear. They said it was a double leg takedown on commentary, but it looked more like a spear, so that's what I'm calling it. Double vertical suplex by Royce and Kay. Double boot. Double trip. Mud hole by Daria. Body scissor and an enziguri by Aaliyah. Ember Moon comes in with the back elbow. A series of kicks. A handspring corner forearm and a springboard crossbody. STO by Morgan. Eclipse, which is that top rope stunner that Ember Moon does, gets the win for Ember, Aaliyah, and Ember Moon, Aaliyah, and Liv Morgan. We just sort of, the show just kind of drops right there because the commentators do some voiceover to announce that Joe versus Nakamura is happening in 2 weeks in Japan. That's the one thing I will say when they're cutting and pasting shows after the fact, is you can really tell when they've cut and pasted in the commentary voiceover. And to just stick in randomly that these two are going to fight in 2 weeks in Japan, you could have made that announcement next week during the regular show. You didn't have to make this seem very jumpy. Because like I say, these matches were great. It had an entirely different feel being in the Air Canada Centre, which was a lot of fun. A lot of fun for me, selfishly. I can be, hey, look, I was sitting right up there. But when you go from that to the pre-recorded stuff, and that's the one thing NXT really hasn't grasped yet. When you're live on location, and then you cut to pre-tape, cut to pre-tape, cut to pre-tape, and it makes the show feel very cut and paste. I didn't mind it when they were doing the Dusty Rhodes Classic, because they were doing their show, and here's one clip from this main event, this house show. But it's the other way around. You're showing the whole house show and you're cutting in with some live, and it's not quite where it needs to be. Other than that, a lot of fun. Nothing here, none of these matches were related to anything that happened at the pay-per-view, because this is everybody else on the roster that wasn't on the pay-per-view. So it's kind of a throwaway show, but it gave me an opportunity to come up here and talk to you guys about how much fun I had at TakeOver Toronto. I hope NXT comes back to Toronto real soon. Originally, when TakeOver with Toronto was announced, it was a house show. They canceled the house show, bumped it up a couple of weeks, attached it to Survivor Series, and turned it into a TakeOver. And you can't go wrong there, and I can't complain. And I'm stupidly biased, because I was there, and it was in my hometown, or near my hometown, considering I'm not technically in Toronto. But I've rambled long enough, because this review wasn't really a review. This was me rambling about what I think of NXT at the moment. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you stayed till the end. Used to do the whole, like, hashtag stay till the end thing, but people stopped doing that. So I've been Spaz, your YWC Reality Check. Subscribe up there, talk down there, start a conversation. Keep all of these conversations going. Don't be a stranger. I will talk to each and every last one of you later, but for right now, I'm tagging out. Reminder, this is the second last NXT review of the year. Oh yes.